Hello everyone, good morning, this is Sage and welcome to the Executive Corner, nice and early this morning in Sydney. And in our Expert Talk today live, we're going to broadcast Ms. Molly Benjamin, the founder of Ladies Finance Club. So we bring you the industry leaders, successful business owners, market and equity advocates, all under the one roof to help you discover the insights of the stock markets and help you understand how you can create multiple passive income streams. So you may have already heard of today's guest, Miss Molly Benjamin, the founder of Ladies Finance Club, as previously seen on Yahoo Finance, Money Magazine, ABC, Studio 10, just to name a few. And to give you some background, after years of being confused and feeling frustrated about her own personal finance situation, Molly found a way to help others gain control of their own finances. So, Molly, welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's lovely to be here.
Fantastic. Well, with your amazing experience in the finance industry, let's get started. I'm sure the viewers are keen to hear from you. So, Ladies Finance Club aims at encouraging financial independence among women. What's your inspiration behind launching the brand and to provide financial products exclusively to women?
Yes, absolutely. So I was always really bad with my money and I had no idea where to start. I was working for a global bank in London in communications, and everywhere I seemed to look, women were having the same issues. We weren't investing. We didn't really know where our pension or our super was. We had no emergency fund, and I thought, right, let's do something about this. So one of my girlfriends suggested we started a book club, and I said, no, let's do an investment club and let's get together and talk about money. And that's where it was really born, in my living room in London back in 2018. And then it grew very quickly, and we were running events. And really interestingly, we would have like 50% of the audience work in financial services. So I realized that this wasn't something that, I was the only person going like, like ETF what? And then the more I looked into this, I found that, when it comes to women and money, the stats can be pretty grim. We are living longer. We are earning less. The pay gap is still around 18% in Australia. We're retiring into homelessness. One of the highest growing demographics of homelessness in Australia is women over the age of 55. And we're only making up 19% of online investors. So, I wanted to create a place where women could come together, where they could feel safe, ask those questions, and, we could really get money savvy.
Fantastic. What an amazing mission. And since you've worked in the financial world for most of your professional life, you have extensive experience in the field. And in your opinion, why is there that massive monetary gap that you've just mentioned when it comes to women and their salaries, pension and investment?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of different reasons, but I think if we look historically, women have just been dealing with money a lot less than men, because men were the ones who used to go out, they earned it, they controlled it. And before late 19th century in Australia, as a woman, you couldn't even open a bank account. And so I think, often society, we get told that, money isn't our business. We shouldn't be, it's the man's job. We're taught to be frugal and to save money, whereas men are taught to grow their wealth and invest their money. And research has actually found that parents still talk to boys about making money, and the pay gap starts at home with boys getting more pocket money. So look, there's a number of reasons. I think money's still very much a taboo topic. Also, studies have found that like 8 in 10 women feel uncomfortable talking about money, and 61% of us would prefer to talk about our death than money. So we have a bit of work to do there. And I think when it comes to investing as well, we do like a bit of confidence there, and there's a big piece around education. We are smart. When we do invest, we make fantastic investors, but it's just making it more accessible to women and making it fun, because as I always say, the world of finance can be very male, pale and stale and very jargony and almost excluding of women. And when you look at the estimated value of unpaid work in Australia being at 65 billion, and 70 2% of that being done by women, you can understand at like the end of the day of a busy day at work, the last thing you want to do is probably like come home and be like, right, where's my super statement? Let's get on top of this. So I would say there's a number of large regions, but, you know, confidence, education, and just getting women started taking control of their money and taking back that power, are some places to start.
Yeah, the finance industry can sometimes be a little bit threatening for women as they try to emerge, but it's so encouraging to see so many more women taking a leadership role in cryptocurrencies, fintech, and finance businesses like yours. So you've mentioned the superannuation, and I think there's been some major changes to super, especially for the focus on women and casual workers and part-time workers. So that's going to be exciting to see what happens with closing that gap between male and female wages. So how does the Ladies Finance Club help women change how they think about and work with money?
Yeah, so I mean, we are an education-based business, so we're just about creating an environment for anyone starting their money journey. And we understand that everyone's starting at a different position. Some people are like, I know nothing, and other people are like quite mature investors. So we just want to start changing the way women talk, think, behave. So like at Ladies Finance Club, when you sign up, we're like, we've got 3 rules. Rule number 1 is you're the only one who's in charge of their money. You know, you can't rely on your partner, rich parents, winning the lotto, Uncle Terry. You know, you are the only one responsible. Another one we say is it's all about long-term investing. So when it comes to your finances, it's all about the long-term. What are your long-term goals? What are you wanting to do? And the other one is we do talk about finances. So we want to talk about it with our mothers, our sisters. You know, I think it's so funny that we use money every single day, yet we never talk about it. It controls so many aspects of our life, what we do sometimes, where we go, where we eat, where we holiday, yet we spend zero time managing it and learning about it. So really what we're just trying to do is create and change that conversation. And what I love is when people have even been just on our Instagram account, they're like, that made me think I need to go find where my super fund is, and I need to see how it's performing and what's it invested in and what are my fees, because it's just, I guess creating these connections and making it really like accessible. And I guess our big point of difference is fun. We try and make it as fun as possible and social. And now that we're allowed to start doing events again, we're really excited to be running a bunch of events around Australia.
Fantastic. It sounds like an amazing think tank, to be honest. And I love your passion and optimism surrounding the space. So that sounds great. So Ladies Finance Club is a relatively new brand in the market, launched only 3 years back. And since then, around 10,000 women have attended your events. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we're based in Australia and the UK. So I set it up in the UK and then moved it to Australia in 2019. Yeah.
Fantastic. So would you like to share a little bit about how you gained this success in such a short span of time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think women are really hungry for this information, and we're 51% of the population. We're not a niche. And I think we've been ignored by the financial industry for a very long time. And if you look at financial industry in Australia, it's one of our most distrusted industries. So, you know, we're not trying to sell financial products, we're trying to sell education. And so we work with the best experts in the country and the best female and male experts in the country to do this. And because I think we're not connected with financial institutions, we're not trying to sell anything, we're a safe space for women to come to where they'll know they'll get just independent advice, education. We have an online course that's done with someone who is not related to any financial institution, so they know that they are getting that independent information and that we want the best for them.
Fantastic. Well, I think you really hit the bullseye there when you talk about women taking control, not blaming other people, just taking accountability and responsibility for their own finances. I think that's the most important thing. And then generating a bit of a buzz around it and talking about it in a fun and positive way. I think there's only benefits coming out of that. Yeah. Would you please enlighten our female viewers on the most significant financial products that you offer on that note?
Yeah, so look, we run a membership. We have an investing course. So we do a monthly webinar on a range of topics. We have accountability groups, which I love. We had ours 2 nights ago, and this is just an opportunity for women who are in the membership to jump on a call. We talk about what are their goals, how are they tracking with it. So just giving them that accountability that if they said they were going to go get insurance, they've got an insurance. Or if they've said they want to do X in the future, we're putting the next steps in place. So I love that part of it. We also have new courses coming out. We're just about to start a boot camp for anyone struggling with debt, and we have book summaries. So we offer a whole range of different products that people can get involved with, all at a really reasonable price.
Oh, fantastic! So engaging eco-friendly workshops and events, as well as the Ladies Finance Club membership that you mentioned. So could you mention a couple of the services that the subscribed members get through the Finance Club?
Yeah, so we've got 2 options. We've got Pink and Diamond. So these firstly include we call it our Financial Fierce Foundations course. So this is to get people up to speed really quickly with like where they're at with their finances. So it does all the basic foundations of kind of like budgeting, super, goal setting up your bank accounts properly. And then included also is a monthly masterclass with an Aussie expert. We also run free webinars as well for anyone who wants to learn about different topics. So we're doing one on buying property, being a mother, and managing your money. We've got one coming up on business finance 101. So then also in the membership is, the tribe accountabilities. We've got a huge range of tools and templates, book summaries, access to all our amazing financial ambassadors we work with. And then with our Diamond membership, you get a couple of other benefits. And this one is really, we're focused on, if you're a female and you want to start a side hustle, because we really think it's great to have multiple streams of income. So this one is all about helping you set up a side business. And what do you need to know from the marketing point of view, from, testing an idea, what should be on your website. So it's all about setting up a small business. So we cover all of that.
Fantastic. And sometimes people can start to mimic these great strategies, but they might confuse methodology or method for results. So it's really important that people take ownership and make it work for themselves. What would you say are the 3 primary steps to follow for the optimum return on investment for budding women investors?
Absolutely. So I would say, always thinking about investing for the long term. It's not about, doubling your money overnight. It's very much about, the long game, as we call it, and not trying to beat the market. We always say, look, even the experts struggle to beat the market. So we're not going to stand a chance. So, coming up with ways that you can just be consistently investing over periods of time. We also say always understand what the fees are and how they work. Fees can really eat into your gains. So always be aware of that. And then start small. As I mentioned, women make great investors, and we're goal-based investors. So we stay calm when the markets go crazy. And, we do, there's multiple studies and research out there that shows when you do compare men and female and male investors, we do end up on top because we do have that kind of consistency, that goal base. We don't freak out. We don't overtrade. So just dip your toes in the water, start small, but start, whether it's, using an app or just even signing up to an app. I always say you don't have to put money in straight away. You can just get used to it and start talking about it more with friends. So they're kind of like the 3 primary steps I would say to follow.
Fantastic. So it's never too late to start, never too early to begin either. So would you shed some light on the type of clientele you get mainly at the Ladies Finance Club?
I mean, we get lots of ladies, obviously, as the name would incline, so mainly women. But, I started this with really kind of corporate millennial women in mind, but we get everyone. We get a whole range of women. So we're getting women in their 20s to in their 60s. And, and the industry it's a huge range. We're getting nurses, financial industry specialists. We're getting teachers, engineers, lawyers, vets. So we have such a range of women because, unfortunately, when it comes to financial education, it's something, we're not taught at school. We're not taught at university, and we're pretty much not taught it in the workplace. So unless you're in a specific financial sector, you might have never learnt this stuff before. So yeah, there's really no kind of bias towards who actually comes along at all. It's a real mix, which we love because we're getting a whole range of different people, creativity, personalities. It's really fantastic.
That's great, and it seems really warm and welcoming, and sometimes finance can seem competitive and cutthroat. So that's a major difference I'm noticing from what you're telling me about your ladies club, your ladies finance club. COVID-19, that's been on the forefront of everyone's mind over the last 12 months. It's caused financial anxiety in people, and these have been tough times. However, hopefully it's been a learning experience for us, and they've taught us significance of being financially ready for advertisers or adversities and how to mitigate possible risks. And according to you, what are the key methods to avoid financial stress?
I mean, we bang on about this a lot at Ladies Finance Club, but one of the biggest things we tell anyone who is about to, get started on their money journey, or they're like, what's the first thing I do? We always say, have an emergency fund. So cash, we say, start with $1,000 if you can, and then you want to build that up to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. That is money to get you out of an emergency, a tricky situation. Now, some people call these runaway funds, rainy day funds. We call them OMG funds because they're for those OMG moments like, oh my God, there's a global pandemic and I've lost my job. Not for, oh my God, I really want those shoes, or oh my God, let's go out and have a party. It's really for those emergencies. And we always say, put it in a separate account, put it somewhere where you can't touch it easily, but it's there. And we always say that's the number one step in having financial freedom and setting up a strong financial future. The other two would just be, get rid of high interest debt. I think COVID has shown a lot of people that we were living beyond our means. And so then we always say, spend less than you earn, which is actually, I think, a lot easier said than done. So setting up that emergency fund, getting rid of that high interest debt, those buy now, pay laters, and spending less than you earn will give you a really nice foundation to then start growing your wealth and, getting really excited about the future.
Absolutely. There's a very, very wise advice there. Thanks for that. And you're organising a webinar to share more of your valuable insights, and this one will be on the 15th of June, I believe, how to buy your first home. Is that correct?
Yeah, so this is one we know Aussies love property, and it's always the Aussie dream to own your own home. So we are running this session with a fabulous lady in finance, Kathy Urs. She runs 𝐊𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐞 Wealth Management, and she's a fabulous mortgage broker. So we are breaking down from the minute you go, I think I should buy a house, or I want to buy a house, to handing over the keys and what that whole process is. Because if you're not, in the real estate world, or, you're brand new to this, you can kind of go, oh my God, where do I even start? Should I get the mortgage, or do I work out how much I need to spend, or should I be looking for where I want to buy? So we just put it in a really nice order. We take you through the different steps, and yeah, it's good fun. So if you want to come along, it's a free event, so everyone is welcome.
Oh, fantastic. That's great to hear. So that's all the time we have for today. It was absolutely fantastic having you on the show. Thank you so much for your time and your insights.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Well, thank you, viewers. That was Ms. Molly Benjamin, the founder of the Ladies Finance Club. And as you heard from her herself, they've got some fabulous webinars and educational topics on taking control of your finances available at their website. That's the Ladies Finance Club. Please check it out for yourself. And as we say at 𝐊𝐴LKIND, stay apprised and invest wise. This is Sage signing off for now.